Hey guys, Lee Shaffer here with Hiviz LED Lighting and the FireTech brand of lights, here today with Chris. Where are we today, Chris?
We're in the beautiful Pilot Mountain, North Carolina.
Nice, and we're with Pilot Knob Volunteer Fire Department, right?
Yes, sir.
For Engine 1, brand new truck.
Brand
Where
new.
did it come from?
Come from Four Guys up in PA.
Nice. So the cool thing about this truck is it's the first truck in the country and the universe, as I've been told, to have the FireTech user interface panel controlling all the lights on the truck. So we're going to talk about that and controlling the BG2s around half of the truck, and then the other half has our first generation fixtures. So we're going to talk about how those interact together. It's a pretty cool truck. Let's check it out. All right, we're here in the cab with the user interface panel. This is one of the two locations that they have this mounted in. The other one is on the side of the pump panel. So Chris, tell us what you use this for.
So biggest thing about placement when we come to the user interface panel, riding down the road, the biggest thing that's hardest to find for us is mailbox and address numbers. So riding down the road, you can cruising. Most time my hand stays right here on the interface panel. If I'm looking for a mailbox, I click that thing up and it's like daylight outside.
And that's operating our first generation 72-inch brow light.
Correct.
All right, cool.
Next thing, pulling up on scene, figuring out what we got, giving a good scene size up. That's our first thing, from the windshield, that's the first thing I'm looking up. So I roll up on scene, hit that all on button, light it up. I can look 360 degrees. Do I have 2 cars, 3 cars, fire, kind of what do I got?
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So
awesome.
That's so that would be our go mode, and then we got our glow mode as well. That operates only the BG2 fixtures at 10% intensity, just a kind of an even glow around the truck. And then, can you talk to us a little bit about the traffic directing and what you'd use that on a call?
So here at Pilot Knob, we have Highway 52 now. It's actually about to be Interstate 74. And one of the big reasons we want to go with the BG2s is for the wraparound feature. The BG2s have traffic advisors built into the light head that'll actually communicate with each other. So I can make the traffic advisor wrap all the way around the truck. Class teaches us when we pull up at a 30-degree angle, take the lane. I can hit the rear traffic advisor left, side traffic advisor left, and it'll chase right around the truck. So much more visibility on the scene.
And you have 3 BG2 fixtures on this truck, right? 3 sides to the body.
3 sides in the rear.
Very
2 sides
cool.
in the rear.
So let's check this out real quick. So if you were to pull up on scene like you were just talking about, you would turn off go mode. You'd have this, so you'd be directing traffic around the back and the right side of the truck. And then on the scene side, you would have full-on scene function on that side of the truck. So not facing traffic, basically.
Right.
So pretty cool option. This is the first truck, again, to feature this user interface panel. So let's now, I guess, take it outside and see the fixtures on the outside of the truck.
Check it out.
All right, we're here on the back right side of the truck, so the back officer side, and we're talking about one of the most cool features about the BG2, and it's the traffic director function. What are we looking at right now, Chris?
So with this, we're actually using 2 different BG2 heads, and we're snaking the traffic advisor around the side of the truck. Big killer point for us why we went with BG2s. We have highway in our district, and we're actually right beside the highway now. This is just making it so much safer for our guys on the highway. Having that truck angled, being able to see the traffic advisor all the way around the truck, I think it's going to make a big difference with us.
So another cool thing that I wanted to mention, Chris, is that the BG2, we're actually sharing the floodlight portion of the light with the color optic, right? So the traffic director is using the color optic, and that's actually optically separated from the scene light function. So if we had the scene light function on right now, it would actually not be able to be seen by the traffic oncoming. Right. And it's pretty cool, kind of a cool option with this BG2, how it has all these rows of LEDs and how you have to kind of mix traffic directing and being seen with the light on scene.
Yep.
All right, Chris, we're standing up here looking back at the truck, right?
Yep.
You have your traffic director function on, your scene light function on, and we were talking a little bit about the complexity of the BG2 and how we're sharing a whole bunch of different things. Much like a Quint apparatus, you're sharing scene functions, you're sharing traffic director, warning functions. And right now, what are we looking at?
So looking at this, we're kind of looking at it from that angle, especially on the highway. You're far back, you're coming up on scene. We've got our scene light. Firefighters can walk around, they can see what they're doing, no slips, trips, or falls. But that traffic advisor is just popping.
Yeah.
You're seeing that from a quarter of a mile, half a mile away.
All right, so we're here at the pump panel, user interface panel, and you were just talking to me about something. I wanted to talk about this a minute. You were talking about the spot function of these lights here and actuating those. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So something when we got it in and got to playing with it, like a kid in a candy store, you get a new toy, you're gonna play with it. I'm used to coming up with the scene mode. You just hit the button once and the scene mode comes on. With the spot, I thought something was broke when we first got it because you hit it and you get a momentary pulse. Right. That's good for if you want to look real quick at something But if you want to turn it on, 2 taps and it comes on. So that took a little bit of tweaking to get used to.
Right, and I was telling him the reason we did that is because the spot function is not really designed to work under. So the scene function, the BG2 is in 3 rows, right? You got your scene mode, your flood mode, and your spot row. And we didn't want the spot row on all the time because that's not easy to work under. It's a very pinpointed light on the ground. So that's really for spotting addresses and things of that sort. So we made it a little bit harder so you don't accidentally fat finger it. And the scene is very easy to actuate, and you get that full broad light around the truck, and that's really what we wanted the fire department to focus on, and that's why we did that. So pretty cool thing there.
Definitely worked.
So one of the most notable things on the Pilot knob truck is the fact that they shared our 2nd generation brow light, our BG2, with our 1st generation scene lights. And one of the scene lights that y'all chose was pole mounted Guardian Elites. Can you tell us why you did that? So
with this truck, we decided to go in with a raised cab. With height restrictions in our departments, we couldn't put a light tower on top of the truck. You know, we had some guys, you know, they wanted that high directional light. That's the only way to go. If you're not going to put a light tower on it, Guardian Elite on a pole, so much light, get it up there, get it high, you can angle it, you can tilt the head up and down.
Excellent.
Definitely the way to go.
And it's one of the first times I've actually seen this mounted on a truck at night, so it's kind of cool for me to see it stand in the light and see how effective it is. So.
Good job.
So Chris, one of the other 1st generation FireTech fixtures that y'all chose was the Guardian Elite surface mounted on the side of the cab. Can you tell us about how these operate?
So with the Guardian Elites on the side of the cab, they're controlled 2 ways. We can either control them with our Vista screen on the driver's side or the officer side of the truck. We've got a little button on our scene light menu that we can control them independently. And also, when we come up on scene and we're getting out of the cab, pop the door and they automatically come on. Either door, both sides of the truck, they'll illuminate. That way when you're coming out of the cab, you can see what you're coming out into.
A cool thing, real quick, about the Guardian Elite is that it shines light straight down under the fixture and out uniquely in an asymmetric pattern. So when we open up that door there, you see the light, you can see slips, trips, and falls you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
So you can see right what's on the ground, right when you're getting out, whether it's wet, whether you're stepping off a cliff, whatever it might be. Pretty cool option. All right, we're here on the front of the Pilot knob truck, engine 1, talking about the front brow light and the fixture that they chose. B72 brow light with the marker lights included. Can you tell us why you went with this light?
So one reason we chose the B72, or even the FireTech brow lights in general, is they have the DOT compliant marker lights built into them. That's one less thing on top of the cab. It's a whole lot sturdier. You put a little plastic lens up there, you go down the driveway, hit a tree limb, and it's gone.
You were telling me a little bit earlier about you have some BG2s on the truck. You were talking about what you might have done in hindsight on this truck. Can you tell me about that?
So now that we've got it kind of in service and using it, we've been backwards down the highway a couple times.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we do have to do it sometimes.
Yep.
Just having that traffic advisor on the front would have just made it that much more safer.
And it's funny you say that because we have a lot of customers that question the use case where you would have traffic directing on the front of the truck. And here in rural North Carolina, that is a thing that happens a lot.
Oh, so, yeah. Especially with the glow function, too.
Yeah.
Cutting the headlights off, because a lot of times the headlights are blinded when you're on scene. You got tankers coming up.
Yeah.
Cut that headlight off, hit the glow function.
Gotcha.
Would have been that much safer.
Chris, thanks for having us out here.
Yes, sir.
Pilot knob volunteer fire department in the middle of the state. Pretty cool little place you got here. Really nice things you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having us out.
Thank you for y'all.